Hello. Welcome to the channel. I am Nate, and this is Peach Domino Paper Crafts. And today, even though I said yesterday was the wrong day, today just so happens to be June the 13th. Oh, is it really? No, that's okay. I don't know why I was thinking it was Friday, except it's Saturday the 13th, so it's not as bad. Okay, so we're still working with Emily Designs. Don't forget tomorrow's decorating day. You get to see this all prettied up. Yay. But today we're going to be making tabs. And here's a couple of examples. These are from the kit. And these are great. They're a little small for my liking. They need to be trimmed up just a hair here. Hang on. It's better if you fold them together and then cut them, because then you get them just like perfect. But yeah, these will work just fine. Like I said, for my taste, they're a little small. They'd be good for like the tops of tags or something. I may save them back and use for that. I like my tabs for my pages to stick out. You may not, and that's perfectly okay. Everybody has different tastes, right? Get that all cleaned up there. Okay, see? Perfect. Okay, and then this is one I did I'll show you how I did this one, don't worry. And this is an example of a whale tail tab, because I don't have a whale tail punch. So I'm going to show you how I made this, only we're going to make it better, right? So let's start with, you can do this the super simple way. You can take your scraps, and this is the easiest way to make a tab. Super simple, super easy. Anybody can do it. Everybody can do it. A lot of people have done it, okay? And we're going to be working with a lot with these scraps, so I'm going to keep them out. Just take a piece of scrap, fold it over in half, and boom, you have a tab, right? Just glue it on your page tab. Simple, easy, right? But we're looking for a little more decorative, right? We want to do something a little more decorative. Let's do that. Let's take this, okay? I like this typewriter, so we're going to use that typewriter. We're going to fold this over. Well, the typewriter's going to be upside down no matter how I do it, so we're just going to fold it in half, right? And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to cut this white bit off. You don't have to do that. You can leave it alone. And I'm going to cut my edges so that they match. Okay, so we're starting with a clean slate here. Now, there's several things you can do. I have this corner notch punch. It does corners over here. It does notches over here. And you can take it and you can put it. This is the halfway point right here. So if you have one of these, you can take it and you can put the edge right at your halfway point. Turn it around if you must. Set it on the table. One day I'll figure out how I'm going to do this. And boom, you got a little notch. And you go and do that on the other side. And boom, you got a little notch. Now you have a lot down here. You could cut some off if you wanted. Then poof, tab, right? I have a fly floating around today. The gnat is gone. I guess the fly chased him off. So we've got these two little tabs. Let me show you real quick how I made this whale tail. Now I have this 2.5-inch circle punch. I don't play with it very often, and I need to play with it more often, because if I don't, I won't be allowed to buy it anymore. Let's see. Either way is fine. So we're just gonna put it in there, squash out a 2.5-inch circle. If you don't have one, just cut a big circle. Trace something make a circle out of it, that's fine too. Anything you want to do. And then you're just going to take it and fold it in half, like so. Okay, and you got the start, right? Now to get these sides even, we're going to go and fold it in half again so that it's in quarters, right? And that's going to allow us, make sure your folded side is the side at the bottom because you don't want to cut off your fold. You're just going to go down a little bit and then start swirling it out. Just like that. And you see, our two sides are now even. Why is it still not like even? I don't know. But you see how on this one, we don't have the pointy tips? If you want to get rid of the pointy tips, you also snip off the tip. And boom. Easy whale tail punch made out of a circle. Simple as that. Right? So we got those. This one was fun. Because you can do anything with it. Let's use this. I'll fold this in half. Yeah, I'm going to fold it this way. Fold it in half. And I'm going to bone fold that down. And then I'm just going to cut that off. And cut that off. Kind of center it a little bit. I feel like it's not. Here, let's go ahead and fold it in half because we're going to fold it in half anyway, right? So we're going to do that. And then we're going to go through and we're going to go one good snip there, one good snip there, alright? Okay. Now, remember, this corner right here is going to be the center of your tab. So you're going to hold on to that corner and you just cut it in whatever shape you want to cut it in. Right? And then when you unfold it, you have a fancy tab in any shape you want. Ta-da! Right? Easy. Doesn't matter if it's crooked, sideways, does not matter. Okay, and then these ones, I can show you how to make these ones out of small scraps. Let me find some small scraps. Here's one. This will do. This one's got, well, that'll be fine. We'll just put that towards the inside. We just fold it in half long ways. Alright? And you can get a couple out of this one. Fold it in half long ways. And then snip it in the middle so you get them roughly that size, right? Fold them in half. Yes, you're always going to have to do that. And then you just take you a circle punch of some sort, shape, or a fever dream. These are a little small to go in these bigger ones. So I like to take these ones. If you can get it in there, you can't always. And just punch a corner. And you see you've got that little doodle right there. We're just going to come up here and we're going to snip that like that. And voila. Quick and easy tab. And that's it. That's all there is to it to making tabs. Really and truly, that's all there is. It's super easy. You can make long tabs and you can, watch this. Watch this. We're going to show you something today. We're going to make this into a tab. We're going to fold it in the middle here. Do it up like this. I'm not going to crease the middle because it's not necessary every time. I'm going to stick this in here because this one's long enough. And just punch that piece And we got a super long tab, and then we just decorate that, and poof, another tab. You can take die cuts. See this wonderful little butterfly that I had to cut 74 times. And you just fold that in half. Basically, a tab is just paper folded in half, really. Now, with this one, I don't want to fold his body. I'm just folding his wings up. Okay. What is this? Oh, that piece. Okay. Just folding his wings and increasing them so they'll stay up. And in order to make it sit right on a tab, what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of paper, this one, and I'm going to fold it, not in half, just fold it. Okay? Crease that down. And then we're going to turn it, unfold it, turn it, and do the other side roughly the same so that we get a spine type of thing. You probably go a little smaller than that. Hang on. Oh, I lied the gnats here too. I swear I hate summer in the South. Anyway, you get your little spine. And that's where your butterfly is going to sit. Okay, so we're going to just take this and trump that off right there. We're going to take our glue, and I'm going to use this one. No, I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. We're going to take our glue, and we're going to glue down his little body. Ignore the fly. And I'm putting a lot of glue because I want him to stick really well. You don't have to use as much glue as I did. You can open it up like that and mash it together. Right? You'll get extra glue all over your fingers, but I think that's alright in a case like this. And bam, you have a butterfly tab. Just remember to be careful when you close your book. So anyway, ignore that fly. I keep saying that, but please do ignore that fly. This is going to be a really short episode if that's all we do. So I'm going to show you how I did some pockets. I wasn't gonna, but I guess I will after all. I'll do these pockets right here. They're super simple. Super duper simple. All these are super duper simple. I'm going to show you how I made this envelope. And I might show you how I made these other pockets. Let's see how we get through this. First of all, these right here, you can see they're kind of bowed up a little bit, right? They're toilet paper tubes. This will be the part we glue to the box, or to the page. But the difficult part about toilet paper tubes, okay? You get them, of course, they're round, you flatten them out, and when you flatten them out, it's not a tube. When you flatten them out, they're more like this, right? They don't want to be flat. They may even puff up a little like this, right? So you use your bone folder and you work on them, you get them down to this. Then you use your bone folder and you work on them, you get them down to this. Well, you just have to keep doing that. Keep working on them. Eventually they'll flatten out pretty well and you can use them. And you just take this and I don't have a single piece big enough, so let's get out a piece of paper. How about you? Okay, so in general, if you're using standard sized American-sized rolls of toilet paper, roughly 2.5 inches, but go with a 3-inch wide piece because that way you have room to chop it off, and it'll fit most everything. I think. Don't hold me to that. I like that $3 mark. Let's see if we can get it in there. Yeah, we got that in there. Okay, and then to keep it in there, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut a little off of this side already, so that I know where I want to keep it. And then to make sure, I'm gonna cut some off the top. You don't have to do any of that, but I wanted to make sure that $3 mark is in there. Pardon me, I didn't mean to sniffle at you. Get some glue. I'm gonna recommend heavy duty glue. Because these are not gonna want to stay stuck together. It took me nearly 30 minutes to get one of these to stick. Some of them take, some of them don't. Use a well-ventilated area. Uh-oh, is it time for more Fabri-Tac too? Goodness gracious, I'm a lot of glue, y'all. There it goes. Put you a good, strong bead of a non-wet glue. Does that make sense? I use Fabri-Tac because it's alcohol-based. If you're using something like tacky glue or art glitter, you're gonna have to use a whole lot more of it and hold it down a whole lot longer. But once you get the glue on, you just press it. You go over with your bone folder. Make sure you're using a glue paper there, because I like to take an old rag that I use around the studio and wipe it down, because it's okay if that gets glued, because look at it. We're not, stupid fly, we're not using that for anything but cleaning up shop messes. It's a paint rag, it's a shop rag. Get out of here, fly. That's what it is. By now, the people outside of this room are really, really confused. They don't know who I'm talking to anymore, because now they think I'm talking to myself. And when I'm talking to myself, I just put the microphone on and pretend that I'm talking to you guys, so, kind of saves a lot of looks. Oh, that Fabri-Tac worked great. Oh, I lied. Okay. It's gonna need more glue. I'm not putting more Fabri-Tac on it, because that stuff will stink you out quick. So, if that doesn't stick real well, go in with your tacky glue and add a big mess of that. Squash it down. Open it back up. And squash it down again. I told you this takes a while. It's hard to get these things to stick. They do not want to be flat. Sure, there are easier ways to do this, but I don't know what they are, so I just kind of do this. Now, you could put a binder clip on here and leave it to dry, and it will dry in exactly that position, and it will stay that way, and then you'll have a much easier time of it. I'm not going to do that. I'm too impatient for that. So if this doesn't work, then I'm just going to... Oh, you know what? Duh. Having some paper clips. Get out of here, fly. You don't have to deal with that fly all summer long. Standard ones don't really, they're not oomphed enough for this. So let's go with the smalls. I got a lot of things in Lowe's buckets. I also have a lot of things in Lowe's teeny totes. I'm also 3D printing my own teeny totes. See? I can swap these out for whatever kit I'm working on. Like right now I have the inks that go well with this kit. And I have this one, which has the mini inks and a bunch of little supplies. And that way I don't have to reach over y'all every time I want to grab something out of a drawer. But I just got 2 of those off on the side of my desk for filming purposes. As for the others, I have 2, 3, 4, 12 stacked up on the back side of my desk, holding everything from dies to bows to labels to twine, all of it. Okay, we're going to let that dry a minute, and I'm going to show you something else. So remember, this is off to the side. I know I'm all over the place. Sorry. You'll get there. Promise. I'm going to show y'all the envelope. Envelope. Now, I have the notch cutter. Look at that. Is that not honest? I have the notch cutter. I'm not using it for envelopes anymore because this is not what I wanted. It works perfectly fine for what it's going to be used for. But that's not what I wanted, so I'm not using the notch cutter for envelopes. Now, this would make a good envelope because it's got all the post office and mail and stuff on it. So I'm going to take my paper. You want to start with a square. Does not matter what size. You can make any size envelopes this way. Well, square ones. Okay? You're going to fold it into a square like that. This is a good skill to have and a good skill to know, so y'all pay attention. Line it up. Missed it. Cut that piece off. Set that in our scraps. My hand stings a little now, y'all. That fly is daring me. Okay. Corner to corner again, the other direction. Trust me, it helps. You don't have to fold it the whole way. You could measure it and do it, and then you wouldn't have creases in your final envelope. Frankly, I don't care if there's creases in my final envelope. And then I'm going to grab my pencil. Okay. And my ruler. Line it up on the crease. I'm going to mark my line towards the middle. Remember, this is the inside, so it doesn't matter as much. I'm going to line it up on the crease and mark my line across that other. See? Now you have a cross there. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to fold. It doesn't matter which way. Yeah, it really doesn't. You'll fold your paper one corner to that cross, to the middle of that cross. Boom, fold that down. Now here's the part, well, not yet, but a lot of people miss this when they're making envelopes. They think, and rightly so, that it's as simple as fold this up, fold that up, but that's not quite right, because then you don't end right? So you're going to take this, and you're going to go past the center. How much past the center is up to you. But you have to go past the center. Okay, and you're going to fold it up, and both fold it down. Now, I like to come across here, right about there, a little below where these, well, basically at where those lines meet. Mark that out and then cut that piece off. You can leave it, you can shape it, you can do it however you want to. It's your envelope. I'm just telling you what I like to do. So maybe you can think about it if you want to do it that way too. And you're going to take this and you're going to fold it at, or no, a little past. Sorry. After those first two, everything goes a little past. Because it's really the only way you're going to get it to work. Now, you'll notice our corners are horrendous here. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it back up. Okay. I'm going to go on this side and draw it out so you can see. Well, you still won't be able to see. Okay. See this corner right here where these two lines meet? Cut it out. Make sure you stay to the inside of the line. Just cut that line off altogether. Basically. And you can do that on all four corners. Some of them are going to be smaller than the others. Some will be huge. It's just the way it is. But on all four corners where your folds meet, just snip it out. You might snip it too far in, like I just did. But that's okay. Handmade envelope. People can get over it. They're not going to be perfect every time. Now there's envelope boards. My scoreboard has an envelope board that'll teach you how to make all kinds of sizes of envelopes. But this is just a quick, easy skill to have in your arsenal. Okay? And then you're going to fold your edges again. You're going to come over here to your bottom flap. You're going to go up this side and across here, stopping right there at that corner. Up this side, up this flap, and stop at that corner. Then you're going to come over here and you're going to go up down the side to the corner. To the corner and across the side. That way it seals up pretty well on all fronts. Alright? Unfold it down. And voila. Envelope. Fancy. Bulkless. Envelope. Ready to go. You could mail it like this too. Just put your stamp and your information. It'll go through the mail. No big. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to set that off to the side. What else did I say I was going to show you? Let's see how our thing is doing over here. No, that'll be the last thing we do because it's still drying. It's still leaking. We're only making one of those, so put the rest of those toilet paper tubes back. I have a lot. Let's see what else I can show you. Let's show you these. See those? Ain't they pretty? See how I folded them a little wrong? That's okay too. So here's how I made those. Take a sheet of double-sided paper. It doesn't have to be double-sided, but it helps. Okay. Take your double-sided paper. Put your ruler on. Now you see, you might not can see, 8 inches is right here. Can you see that that is not on the paper? It's about 1/8 of an inch too short. That's okay. We're going to measure down 2 inches. Which means this first flap is 6 inches tall. So if you put it in your thing, right, you'll measure this part to be 6 inches. Give or take. And then you're going to turn it over this way. See our mark is up here. We'll put the ruler back on. And we're going to measure down 2 inches. Okay? Now, go ahead and take these right to the edge. And that makes it much easier. I like to come in before I go to the paper cutter and go to the edge and to the edge. Line them up. You can't see the bottom edge, but it's there. And draw my line. It does make it easier on the paper cutter. Well, easier on me on the paper cutter. And then I can just line my line up. Like so. Cut. And boom. 2 pockets ready to go. Now, the thing is, there are going to be different sizes every time. Every time. So, however you fold them this way, you can fold them this much and fold it back and fold it back. It don't matter. See, you can, however wide you want to make it, just make it that wide. It does not matter. Because look, now you go and you fold it back this way. See, and on this one, that's as far as she went. But on this one, because I folded it smaller, I can go back another time and have another flap. You see that? Whereas if I wanted to do this one, say this wide, I could only get this much of a bottom flap. There are a lot of tutorials that tell you exactly how to do each one of these things that I'm showing. They're all over the place, right? A lot of them, though, go by measurements, and I'm trying to show y'all how to do these things and put them in your skill set so you don't need the measurements. You can just eyeball it and figure out, oh, I want it to be this wide. Here's how that works. Now, the measurement of 2 inches from the top, 2 inches from the bottom, you can change that to 1 inch each. You can change it to 7 inches each, which would be weird because it'd just be 1 inch. You get what I'm saying. You can change that measurement up however you like. And boom, you have pockets. Okay? Oh, I forgot a step on these. Glue. What you're going to want to do, fold it out. All right? You don't have to fold it all the way out. But you're going to go all the way across this part. All the way across this part. Stick it down. That could have been a good opening for the pocket there. I still got more of these papers. It's okay. And you can do it just like that. And then you've got a tuck instead of a pocket. Where you can, right? But you've still got this pocket. And then if you only glue it down on 3 sides, you've got this pocket. All kinds of things you can do right there. Right? Same with this one. Open it up. Go here. Here. Slap that down. Open it up. Go here. Here. Slap that down. Open it up. Go here. And here. And it's full pocket now. See? Showing you. These are easy things you can do. This one. See this one? This one's dead simple. Any size piece of paper. Right? This size would be weird, but you could do it. Any size piece of paper. Take it, fold it in half, hot dog style. Or, yeah, hot dog style. Hamburger style. Like you were going to put it in a journal. Hamburger style. Y'all are confused by that, some of you. This is a piece of paper. And when I was in school, we had our paper, our writing paper, you know. Time to make a list. We fold it hot dog style. Because hot dogs are long and skinny. But if we want to split the paper in half, you fold it hamburger style. Because hamburgers are fat and wide. Yeah. Yeah, Americans use anything but the metric system. Yeah, I know. Okay, then we're going to take this piece of paper. Doesn't matter which side. Pick your favorite. I like this one. Okay, and we're going to turn it upside down. And we're going to fold up just however much you want. Doesn't matter. However much you fold, that's how far apart your pockets will be. You're going to unfold, and you're going to go the front page right here on the short pocket and put thumb notch. And then you're going to go and turn it over to the opposite panel and put a thumb notch. Okay? So that when you fold it back up, there's your pockets. Right? Now, gluing, I have found it easiest to glue this panel over. Okay? And then glue this panel and this panel and this panel and fold that up, and then everything's glued. Okay? That's it. You don't got enough glue there? Add a little more. Glue is not necessarily the most expensive. I mean, I know it's, especially this one, it's not the cheapest. But for something that's going to hold everything together, use the glue. Use the glue. Okay, I got one more to show you. It's kind of the same as that last one. I'm going to cut this in half because I don't want it to be the size of a whole page. Well, I'm just going to cut it. I don't know if it's in half, but we're just going to cut it. I think I'm going to use the larger one. Right. And I'm going to... it doesn't matter. I'm going to fold it in half. Doesn't matter which one you choose to be. This is going to be your outside. So if you fold it this way, that's going to be right there. If you fold it this way, that's going to be right there. Right? No big. Fold it like that. And then pick it up and put it all the way to the top. I had to look and see, but I thought it was. Okay. Put it all the way to the top. Fold it directly in half. Make sure you burnish it. Okay. And then we're going to take this flap right here. And we're going to fold it however far down you want. I'm going to go right here. You can go all the way to the edge if you want to. You can go all, it doesn't matter. However far you want. And choose how far you want your flaps to be. And then that's where you fold your second one. And then you get this one to where it kind of matches up with that flap, is far apart. And then this one, same thing. Try to make it kind of match up in distance apart. Now you'll notice something isn't the same here. So we unfold everything. Okay, and we got this. Now this is your very first tiny little flap. You're going to glue it down. Like that. Okay? Now if you're confused about the rest, you can fold it in and you'll know. That flap, that flap, that flap. But basically they all fold towards the right direction, right? So next would be this flap. So we just put some glue. Okay. And we know those two flaps are done. Next biggest. This flap. See, even I have to fold them back together sometimes. Fold it in. Now you've got a decision to make. You want this flap to be folded this way, or do you want it to be folded this way? And I prefer for this flap to be folded this way because it gives a little more contrast that way. You don't have to do that. You can cut some of it off if you'd rather, whatever you want to do. You could always go in and just cut across here and just have like a border piece there. It's up to you. Now, we're going to take and we're going to glue right here, this panel, to that. Okay? And then we're going to glue this panel to that. I guess you could glue both at the same time, but you don't want the glue on the fold. Don't do that. And then you're going to put glue here and here. And burnish that down. And voila. Okay. Okay, now for the part I've been dreading because it is still wet, y'all. Still wet. But we're taking off the paper clips. Okay, looks to have held. Yeah. Okay, so we got that done. That's that part. Got our toilet paper tube. Figure out where you want the top, bottom, doesn't really matter. Didn't we have a piece we cut for this? Did I use it for something else? I think I did. Oh well. I'm just gonna use this. I did use it. No. It's this? No. It was that kind of paper though. Did I use it? I don't know. I don't know where it went. I had something, didn't I? Well, my goodness. I've lost my mind, y'all. I had a piece of paper for this and I've lost it. I can't sit here and look for it all day. So, we're just going to use this one. Turn it over because I want this on the front. Choose which side you want to be the front, which side you want to be the back. Neither way matters. And I am not using the good glue for this. I am using my tacky glue. And I'm using it out of the big bottle because this cardboard soaks up glue like nobody's business. So, we're just gonna mush it all in. Y'all saw that, right? He's teasing me. Stupid fly. Push it down on the paper where you want it. Yeah, because I had the $3. I was going to put the $3 on it. Wonder where that went. It's right here. Y'all. I think I need to go back to bed. Okay. So we got this down. Puts $3 on. Nothing else. Sorry, the fly hit me in the ear. I can't stand things on my ear. Where'd my rack go? Where'd my shop rack go? Get some of this extra glue out of the way. Okay. And then we're just gonna slice it at the bottom. Slice it at the sides. There he is again, y'all. Top. I feel like a horse out in the pasture with all this one stupid fly. There's just one. Okay, you're going to want to take a piece. Now you can put a thumb hole here if you'd like. Smaller one than that. But you can put a thumb hole here if you'd like. I'm not going to, simply because it pokes open like that. But what I am going to do is cut a strip slightly smaller than our opening. Test fit. Maybe a little small, but that's alright. And then I'm going to glue that in place. just because it kind of shows off that there's something there. The brown of the toilet paper roll, yes, it's different than the other, but this way that I'm doing it, with it poking up just a tiny bit, makes it a little more obvious than that. So, that makes it a little easier. Alright, so, if y'all will, I believe that's the end of our video today. We made a toilet paper pocket. I made several without y'all, sorry about that. We made envelopes, these kind of pockets, these kind of pockets, these kind of pockets. There's another envelope that I made without y'all. And we made tabs. We've done a lot today, y'all. I really like the way this tab turned out. So, make sure you come back tomorrow because we're going to decorate and use all this stuff that we've made. I'm excited. Y'all excited? You should be. Alright, make sure you're checking out all the YouTube groups, Facebook groups, the YouTube channels, the Ko-fi and Etsy links for everybody, the YouTube hop, so you can catch up and be part of that. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.